I'm sorry, I'm still blown away every time we say.
I don't know why. It has been how many months, people? How many months? This is my best friend, by the way, and I have put up with it anyway. I'm Jade.
And I'm Winona, and you are welcome to the Women's Cave.
Oh, and you are welcome to the Women's Cave? Okay, and I am the welcome to the Women's Cave, apparently. That's what I am today.
Oh my goodness, that's normally your line. So like,
And then you are, and then I am, though. You just like gave it to me like I embody welcome to the Women's Cave.
you do, it's her line. So I say something about recording, and it's just wonderful. And then she says, welcome to the Women's Cave.
It's not written.
Welcome to the Women's Cave.
It's not written anywhere, people. That doesn't have to be my line. Anyway, it doesn't matter, y'all. We wrote.
I think you're getting away with it.
You can redefine yourself in the middle of me talking.
I can redefine myself. I just had a moment. Let me redefine myself as embodying the woman's. Anyway, we did write literary lifestyles of pop poetry. Yeah, sometimes we actually do have wise things to say, or maybe more like our co-authors, but whatever. You know, we'll claim it. Right? We're taking it today. Since I embodied the Women's Cave, I'm embodying wisdom too. Okay, I'm just doing it today. And I thought the book was bad with other life lessons, and I thought being grown up was easy. If only I would me a memoir in verse, Widow's Web, Foreign Coffee,
Widow's Debt.
Yeah, okay, so those are where you want to get your audiobooks, because y'all, it still has some nice weather left. Y'all might want to be at the beach, so I'm just saying, get your audiobooks on that. I know, right? Number 10.
Of course, there's only 6 blocks that.
yeah, all of that. But also, so you can find out all the rest of 17 books and what your ladies have going on, some of the things we probably never want you to know at www.andithoughladies.com. But
you know, every time you say that and things you don't want us to know, I recognize how true it is.
It's true every time. And we're going to take that off the website one day and then totally forget. So it's there now.
But you're not here to hear about us.
You're here to hear from my wonderful guest. Wonderful guest.
Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, I'm so honored to be with you, hilarious ladies. I'm Betsy Boyd, and I direct the creative writing MFA degree at the University of Baltimore.
Wow.
Okay, first of all, we have an intelligent person in the
I
room.
know, right?
So
We have
now
hold on, let me tighten my sweater. Okay. We're ready to do the interview.
My business sweater.
Yeah, business sweater.
Let me put my glasses on so I'll seem more intelligent. Hold on. Okay.
All right, we got it.
Boyd is officially here.
She's in the building.
Now I'm my professor self. That's right. Okay.
So tell me, how did you start your writing career? I mean, honestly, when you look at your published most recently page, you're going, oh my word, she did so much.
And how is she on our show?
Exactly.
How did that happen?
So how did you get started?
Well, I'm so lucky you found me. Well, I am in my late 40s. I'm 48. So I've had a lot of time to work on things. When I was in college, I majored in English and I wrote for the college newspaper. So I had deadlines every week that were separate from my class deadlines. And that was such a wonderful thing for me because I saw that I could write on demand. And I learned how to interview people. And I learned that I'm so excited by other people's stories. So then I was also taking fiction writing classes as an undergraduate and doing sketch comedy. And all of those things came together to, for me, inspire what I think of as the power of voice. I think that's the best thing about my writing is that I can tell other people's stories, though I'm often inventing those people. So right after college, I did an MFA in screenwriting at the University of Texas, which has a wonderful program endowed by James Michener, the novelist, and they pay everyone's way and give you a stipend. So I had years to write. Then in my late 20s, I did another grad degree at Johns Hopkins in fiction writing. So all along the way, I was writing for magazines and doing these sort of 3 things that incorporate discovering voice, writing fiction, doing some sketch comedy, and also interviewing people for magazines and making my money that way. So that's a short answer, even though blah, 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 blah.
Oh, no. I have to say, because we interview a lot of authors, so
we are
words are really how we communicate. So that is a short answer.
Words
for an author.
Yeah.
So you found that you have a passion for interviewing people. I mean, let's just talk about sketch comedy because I can't just let that just drop. Like I was thinking, I have to talk and be serious, but sketch comedy. Why?
How does that fit in?
How? And how did
that? I think that we just get along so well that we've just met because we're all funny and most people are funny. You know, I think that laughter is just such a healing force. It's also important to like acknowledge your sad emotions, but if you can laugh every day and bring that into your family life, it's really healing. And I've always thought of my mother's best strength as her humor. She had her faults and still does, but she's funny. And I think that she gave that to me. So I was in improv groups in college, and I was in a sketch group. And then for a while, I lived in Los Angeles between my 2 grad degrees. And I joined a theater called Acme Comedy Theater. And just continued, you know, I'm a tourist. I do the same things over and over. I like to continue like what I started in college. So we would do shows every week. And then I started acting in commercials to increase my freelance income. And, you know, that's a very cool chapter of my life. And maybe I'll go back to it someday. I really love comedy. And I think that I bring it into my teaching. I help people relax by being a little silly, not like, you know, wacky, but a little bit silly sometimes so that we can relax, because life is so short. We just have to laugh.
Absolutely. And you seem like a super busy woman, like super busy, but yet you were talking to us before about how you still find time to write. Can you explain to us scheduling, what you have to do to make sure you have that time?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was maybe Cokie Roberts who said that you've got to have clarity of purpose. So whatever you're doing, whatever you really want to do, you know, separate from mothering or, you know, just jogging or what, you know, the sort of things that you just need to do to kind of feel like a good citizen and good in your body. If there's a project that you want to do, you're claiming that as kind of your sacred thing that you're going to accomplish. You've got to carve out the time. Because I'm a professor, I teach certain days of the week and other days I have meetings, but the entire day isn't booked with work. And that's for a reason, so that I can do what we call my scholarship, which is writing fiction. And I've worked for several years on a novel that is about body image. And I'll tell you more about it, you know, later if we have time. But, you know, I just think you've got to claim that space.
Oh, we definitely have time
to
talk about body image.
Wait, I feel like now this is the later time you were speaking.
Yes,
about.
right now. So
you can tell us about the novel.
Okay. Well, yes. So I was fascinated when my mom joined Curves, which is, you know, like a gym chain for women. Just the name alone seemed really funny. And also the idea that you go in and you work out for 30 minutes and it's all sort of regulated, and the goals are very simple, and nobody who goes to Curves looks that great. It just seemed really cute and funny. So I knew I wanted to write about Curves, or a gym that's kind of for women. And I started doing some research, because that's often the way I begin anything, and whether it's a sketch or whatever. And I started to fall in love with the idea that maybe there's a gym for women that's also part of a reality show, so that when the workout buddies, you have to have a buddy in my book, they're working out together, everything they do, everybody and everybody who joins the gym is on film. So every conversation you have with your buddy could become picked up by these producers, and you could become part of this reality show. Because I think so much of going to a gym is about being seen and watching. And so I wanted that aspect, that sort of societal, the eyes of society, to be part of this. But I also, as a survivor of anorexia, I wanted to write about women who have eating disorders. So one woman who's almost 40 has anorexia, and the other woman, her friend who's in her early 20s, is obese, but she doesn't overeat. She just happens to be obese. So I'm really interested in using humor to look at what it is to have a body, to be a woman in a body with all the societal pressure, a camera watching you in a sense, you know, but it's really also just you watching yourself. What can friendship do to free us from some of those shackles? And yeah, anyway, I'm loving working on it. I love my characters. And I hope that when I finish, it will be something that makes women feel better about just being healthy.
Yeah.
Wow. I love this. I'm already buying the audiobook, and I don't even have it yet. Just
yep.
Not even out yet. I'm just like,
buy it.
Maybe suggest a narrator.
Have a book.
Maybe, yeah, I know. Maybe you guys can read the audiobook.
No. But
Okay.
out there is the best, Joe. You're the best. We love you.
Yes, definitely. That's great.
Yeah.
Or Daryl.
No,
Because
Daryl.
that's
He's
my
great
narrator.
too. He's
Yeah,
great
yeah.
too.
All right. So anyway, I wanted to know a bit more about the academic side of life because an MFA in writing and fiction
And screenwriting. You gotta talk about it.
First of all, what do you feel is the most important thing a student should know when they're thinking about getting an MFA in any creative literary art?
I think the most important thing is to be sure you're ready to focus. And like I said, carve out that quiet time almost every day to be alone with your writing and almost the church of your mind. You've got to give yourself that gift, and it's something that you have to have some real maturity, I think, to embrace. Now, you could be any age, but you have to be ready. And as a tangential point, I think it's also important to embrace the idea of an MFA because you want to get better and you want to make your craft a real organic part of your week every week, not because you want to be famous and get money. Because sure, I mean, it's great when we succeed and win a prize or make some money, but you may not make millions of dollars. You may, but that it just shouldn't be the goal. You've got to keep your ego in check.
Wow, I like the
okay,
ego
first of all,
part.
I love the ego part. So even for the actors out there, just remember that one.
You have to have it, right?
I feel like writers keep their ego in check just by reading their writing. Because how many times do we read our writing and go, oh, that's not good?
Well, that is a sign of maturity. I think when you can get to the point where you can read your writing and not think, oh, this is brilliant. All writing has got to be reshaped in almost every instance. You might have one story, if you're writing short stories, one story a year that just flows and it's there and you just have to clean it up. But I think that you've got to also accept that mystery is a big part of writing, and you're trying to excavate your subconscious. So you've got to put in those hours.
Okay, so while we're here, let's talk about the editing process and how you feel about it.
Yeah, I mean, the editing process, I think, is different for me for every story I work on, every screenplay I've written when I used to write screenplays. The story kind of dictates my form. Right now, because I have a multi-narrator novel, I have, mostly two narrators, but a third comes in sometimes. Those voices are telling me how to do my editing because I have to kind of calibrate and braid them together, not let one dominate too much, but also allow for the sense that one of them is a little more of the protagonist than the other two. So it's tricky. It's sort of like writing music, I think. And every work that you create is a different song. It's very helpful to be in a writing workshop, and I'm often in one or two writing groups at the same time because I need that feedback. Get feedback from people you trust, and that will help you write your song, so to speak. But then also just trust you're going to know how to do it. And it's not like a paint by numbers thing. When I'm almost at the end of my current draft of the book. And when I get there, I will need to look closely and decide, in this case, does the young woman get too much airtime in the beginning? Maybe I need to move some of what she's saying a little later. And maybe the book starts a little too late, and maybe the first voice needs to be reduced a little bit, and just let's go more medias res with that one. Anyway, I think every project is different, and the more you do it and the more you sit with it every day, the realer it becomes, whether it's fiction or nonfiction or poetry. You're putting those hours in is making it real. It's almost like magic. And then you yourself respect it, and it's separate from your ego. It's almost like a living thing.
Wow. Okay, I have the semi-controversial question. Which is
Okay,
because
sure.
normally right now
What?
would be my narcissist question.
That's semi-controversial. Don't do it.
We don't do semi-controversial.
What?
Wait, what do you mean your narcissist question? You're not saying you're a narcissist.
Oh
yes.
yeah, I always say I'm a narcissist.
Oh,
I'm the
yes.
narcissist of the group.
Yes.
But my narcissist question would be like, can we come talk to your class?
Oh my gosh, would you? Because I'm teaching, listen, we can talk about this later, but I'm teaching e-publishing right now.
Oh,
and
yes.
I would be so excited if you could even come for half an hour because they have the option of making a podcast.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
That narcissist question got real.
Wow, that got real. We were like, oh, we're not laughing. Oh, okay. Yeah.
No pressure.
But the last question that we have to ask, because she has to go.
Yeah.
You know what? Writing time, y'all. She has writing time. Let's talk about where people can find your works and follow you.
Yes. Well, you can find my short stories online by Googling me. And, don't we all Google ourselves once in a while? Yeah, I have a recent story at the Kenyon Review, which is one of my favorite journals. So I'm especially excited to have it there. It's called Adult Swim. I did the audio for it, so you can listen to it there. I have a story that I am fond of called A Case of the Mondays, which is told from the point of view of an alcoholic man who just turned 40. And that is at eclectica.com. And I have a lot of essays at Huffington Post that chronicle my process doing IVF and having the twins and so forth. So you could start there and then get ready for Heavenly Bodies, my novel, because it's on the way.
We're super excited. I'm telling you, I'm still hovering. I'm like, okay, yeah, getting it right now. Oh, wait, it's not available. It's not available. Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. We truly appreciate it.
It feels so weird because someone's so smart and
I
so fun.
know, right? I was like, okay, let me put on my smart sweater today.
She really did.
You guys
Put on
are
my smart sweater.
amazing interviewers. You're so selfless in the way that you interview, even though I know you make fun of yourselves, but you're very good at interviewing. Like that's why you're so popular. So A+, you both get an A+.
Oh, what for Professor? High five! Like social distance, y'all.
Wait. I haven't got one of those in years.
Good. A+. Woo! Haven't seen that in a long time. I'm excited. All right, so you can find out everything that your ladies are doing on www.ladies.com. Wow. Well, I messed that up because I was still shocked about the A+. Okay, like I'm still processing A+.
Okay.
Right. So www.andithoughtladies.com. While you're there, take a moment, go down to the bottom of the page and see the charities that we probably support. Maybe you can support them also. We thank you in advance for that. And just remember, y'all, wisdom is all around you if
you're open to finding it and accepting it. So peace and love, you guys, from Will No.
And Jade. Bye. Oh yeah, thanks for listening.